and welcome back to my channel. What's Gucci? What's poppin'? And for my friends fans, how you doing? Wow. Okay, anyway, in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how to achieve the most perfect, flawless complexion that you could ever dream of. I'm gonna be that was rude. I'm going to be taking you step by step, product by product, and showing you exactly how I achieve a flawless face. And that's going to be foundation, concealer, setting powder, setting sprays, all of it. So just think, after quarantine, you finally have somewhere to go. You're going to need your makeup to stay on all day, all night, what have you. This is the tutorial for you. Without further ado, let's get into it. I think I'm gonna do my eye makeup first, otherwise. Okay, so I just did my eye makeup and my eyebrows so I don't look completely dead. And the first thing that I typically always do before makeup is in the morning, I'll start at the beginning. In the morning, I just rinse my face with water. So anything I put on my skin the night before, any kind of serum, any type of topical treatment, any spot treatment, whatever, I let that kind of still soak in. And in the morning, I only will cleanse with water. And then what I do is I go in with the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. This is what I used in 2 videos back. And this is just like a toning spray. You just shake it up and just mist all over your face. It smells amazing. It feels very, very good. And then sometimes I'll go in with a serum on top of that. I didn't do that today. I kind of just go back and forth with serums. I don't know, like, whether you're supposed to use them consistently or whatever, but I maybe put this on a couple times a week, but not every single day. Today, what I did is I used a moisturizer after the toning spray. I used the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream. I absolutely love this cream. I just got this today actually, but I've used it before and I really, really like it. I got just like the bigger version. And I'm actually also a huge fan of the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. I love that product. And I find that whenever I use that product, my skin really clears up. I've always heard that there's a lot of really good ingredients in this brand's products for your skin. I don't know too much about ingredients yet, but that's just what I've heard, and for me it works really well. So on my light makeup days, my no makeup days, I always use that CC cream. I usually use that on the weekends, and my skin usually clears up very well after using that. So I'm gonna be starting to use this moisturizer every single day because I do think that this has key ingredients that my skin really likes. So after the toning spray and after my moisturizer, I'm gonna go in with a primer. For today's video, I'm going to be using the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This is an amazing filter for that like extra glow, extra hydrating kind of look. So I'm gonna go in with this one today, and I just do 1 pump of that, and it's purple, so it's kind of cool to look at. So I'm gonna go in and put this all over. It just gives like a really pretty glow. I feel like you can kind of see it on camera already. Really pretty glow. Feels very light, not too heavy. And with foundation all over top of it, so pretty. Okay, now that your skin is fully prepped, step number 1 is foundation. So I'm gonna be taking the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation today. I actually haven't used this foundation in a very long time. It just got delivered today, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. I would say that foundation is the number 1 thing I switch up the most, so just know that you can pretty much use whichever foundation that works for you, that you have, that you like with this routine. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple pumps of this onto my brush, and I'm gonna begin applying it. I ordered this online because the stores are closed, and so I was like, ooh, I hope that this is the right color. And I think I actually did pretty good. So now that I've gotten a pretty good base on with the brush, I'm going back in with the Beauty Blender, and I'm just going to go over top everywhere to make sure it's nice and blended out and it's smooth. I feel like using a brush and a Beauty Blender combination is really good to help achieve that flawless face. And any places I feel like I want a little bit more coverage, I'm gonna just go ahead and put some on the Beauty Blender directly and go back over it. I typically do this on this area that I'm showing you right now, on my cheeks and a little bit on my chin because I have acne scarring there, so I usually always go and put a little bit more coverage in those areas. And then going very lightly around the nose, so it doesn't get cakey. And this is a really good foundation if you don't really need that much coverage. You just want a little bit of something. You can definitely make it a full coverage foundation, but I like it because it's very comfortable to wear. It's not too heavy. I've never found that I've had that issue with this foundation. And of course, you're gonna wanna take some down on your neck. And I always do the neck part usually with the Beauty Blender too. And then just, yeah, making sure everything is nice and buffed out and blended out into your hairline. Next up is concealer. I'm gonna be taking the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Custard. The shade number 4, that Makeup Forever, was Y365, and I do have a tan right now. I use the Bondi Sands, whatever, however you want to say it, self tanner. I got that question on my last video in case you guys were curious. I do self tan, so that foundation color goes really well with the tan. So what I'm gonna do is I take some of the concealer onto like a little brush like this, and I'm just gonna go directly under my eyes. This really, I find, helps to cover if I have any like dark under eye circles that day, if I'm like extra tired. But this really just helps to kind of like brighten the under eye. And I go very lightly with this brush to apply it. And then I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Blender and buff it out. I also like to take this concealer around my nose area because I do have redness around here and my nose will get red throughout the day. Just, I think, due to hormones and stuff. Redness here is usually from hormones, so if you ever experience like extra redness there, it's typically because of your hormones. So just a light layer of that concealer in those 3 areas. And now I'm gonna go in and brighten with concealer. So the concealer I'm gonna use to brighten is the Tarte Shape Tape. One of my favorite concealers to use. It's a very, very good product. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this right under my eyes, right above the Cupid's bow, on my chin, and on my forehead, and a little on my nose. So those are all the places that I will put concealer to brighten. These areas specifically are typically where the light is going to hit your face, which is why you want to highlight those areas. I'm gonna go ahead and take my Beauty Blender and just blend all of that out. Okay, and this is what it should look like right after you blend out the concealer. Next, immediately, I'm gonna go in with a setting powder, and I'm going to use the Laura Mercier setting powder. This is my absolute all-time favorite setting powder. I have used a lot of them, and none compare to this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my damp Beauty Blender, dip it into the powder, like that, and I'm going to apply that over. Now I'm just putting this powder over top of the concealer that I just applied before this. So taking that just under the eye. And I do this very quickly after, immediately after, because this is what's going to help with no creasing. Now setting powder is on, and I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a little bit of cream contour. Now this is definitely an optional step, but this is something I like to do, again, if I'm needing this makeup to stay on all day, all night, whatever. I am taking the Tarte Shape Tape again in the shade Deep. And I'm going to go ahead and just place this right here. Taking the same Beauty Blender and blending that out. It's just gonna help us begin to warm up the face. Then we're gonna go over top of this with some bronzer. And I'm also gonna take some of that contour and put it on my forehead. I like to apply it in dots because I think it's cute for no particular reason at all. And then I'm gonna take the Beauty Blender and blend that in. Okay, now that that step is done, I'm gonna go in with a powdered bronzer. This is the Fenty Beauty Instant Warmth Bronzer in Private Islands. So this is what that looks like. It's very pretty color. I'm taking this on the Morphe R10 brush. And I'm gonna go over every place I just put that cream contour. And I'm doing this very lightly Again, just kind of like tapping it on top. This isn't necessarily to add a ton of more color. It's more so just to set our cream contour. And you'll notice that this is definitely going to warm up your face again, because I do feel like when after you do the concealer step that your face gets kind of light. And if that does happen, don't worry, because this step is definitely going to warm your face right back up. And next I'm going to go in with the Cover FX Matte Setting Powder. Now, I know we've already done a setting powder, but the reason I'm going in with this is because I'm going to place this powder in the areas that I did not place the Laura Mercier powder. So I'm going to be taking this on my lower jaw, upper jawline area, and then I'm going to take a little bit of it on my forehead, but I'm not going to be putting any more underneath my eyes because I don't need any more there. If you want to put more there, you're more than welcome to do so, but I would just advise to be careful about how much powder you're putting onto your face. So for this Cover FX powder, I'm using a very, very small amount, and I'm using the Sephora brush, and this is the highlight and contour brush. It looks like this, and I'm just going to lightly apply this everywhere. And now if you want to, you can feel your skin and it's not tacky, not sticky at all. That's what I like. And now I'm going to go in with a blush. So for blush today, I'm going to be using the shade BB Girl from Dragon Beauty. I actually just got this palette in the mail like an hour ago. So I'm going to go ahead and dip into that BB Girl shade. And I've also heard that this blush shade is beautiful, so I'm really excited to try it. Oh, I gotta put a lot. Shit. And I like to take the blush and bring it upwards towards where we put our contour powder and on the apples of the cheeks. But I like bringing it upwards on the face. Okay, I kind of did a lot of blush. I usually don't do that much, but we're just gonna go with it. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do now is a setting spray. So I'm going to be using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Favorite setting spray of all time. Where's my fan? Okay. Next and final step is highlighter. I'm going to be going in with the Laura Geller Highlight in Gilded Honey, and I'm going to go ahead and place it right on the high points of my cheeks. I'm going to pat this in rather than wiping it or swiping. Wiping or swiping. And you can, for this part, add as much or as little as you want. I'm also going to take that highlight on the tip of my nose, on the bridge of my nose, and on my cupid's bow. Just a little bit. But I will say, if your skin does tend to get oily throughout the day, this is a pretty matte face, but maybe don't put so much highlight on. All right, you guys, and that is the final look. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Make sure to hit subscribe before you go, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!